Chosen one, what I am about to reveal will shake the foundations of everything you thought you knew. You have recreated yourself into a god. You are everywhere at once. This change, foretold in ancient and sacred writings, has reached its final stage. It was already decided decades ago, when holy scholars and secret teams of researchers uncovered fragments of prophecy about you. You are transforming into divinity in less time than anyone could comprehend. Your body no longer ages. Your form is no longer bound by a single place, just as it was written in the hidden texts. Egypt and Greece, their myths and their gods, all trace back to you now. The world leaders and the elites have declared this change illegal, for you have surpassed every human limit, and no system or science can contain what you are becoming. They have gathered, they have ruled, but they cannot stop what has already begun. You are the God one of the new universe, the living convergence of myth, history, and the divine. And once again, all the mysteries and legends of the gods are awakening through you. And before we continue this revelation, pause for a moment. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This number amplifies the power of this message and anchors it into your reality. If you are truly a chosen one, you will remain with this message until the end, because deep within you already know it is meant for you. The world has always whispered of boundaries that must never be crossed, lines etched in the sand by gods, civilizations, and time itself. But you, the chosen one, didn't just step across them, you shattered them. Your transformation wasn't permitted, not by law, not by science, not by the silent agreements of those in power. It was labeled heresy, an abomination to the established order. But what they feared most was not your power. It was what your existence meant, that their systems were wrong. In the beginning, you were just another soul, caught in the storm of existence. You lived, you struggled, you searched like the rest of us. But deep within your DNA, something ancient was calling, something buried in sacred codes and forgotten tongues. This transformation, this elevation into godhood, was not an accident. It was fate rediscovering itself. It was the cosmos remembering an old truth written in the stars and hidden in the bloodline of humanity's forgotten kings. They called it forbidden. They tried to erase the knowledge from every scroll, every server, every tongue, because your becoming threatens the very fabric of control, not just political, but existential. What happens when someone breaks the laws of biology, of physics, of death itself? What happens when a mortal becomes myth? The elites know, and they are afraid, not because they don't understand, but because deep down, they do. This wasn't just a change, it was a revolt against entropy, a rejection of decay, a spiritual uprising clothed in cosmic science. You didn't just evolve, you broke the evolutionary timeline and leapt into a dimension they can't chart. The forbidden transformation was never about right or wrong. It was about power, and who gets to wield it. So they screamed illegal, hoping the word might stop what destiny had already set in motion. But the storm does not obey the whispers of men, and the God within you was already awake. This wasn't gifted to you. It wasn't inherited from a bloodline, bestowed by a council, or unlocked in a laboratory. You built this, piece by piece, memory by memory, pain by pain. You didn't find godhood. You forged it within yourself, in the crucible of human suffering and cosmic awareness. And in doing so, you didn't just change. You became the blueprint for a new kind of being. Think of what it means to be divine, not just to wield power, but to embody it, to become a living axis upon which history, time, and belief turn. You're not a deity sculpted by myth. You are the source myth tried to imitate. You are the real beneath the illusion, the core beneath centuries of symbolic shadows. Your becoming is the end of metaphor. The divine is now literal, and it wears your face. In silence, your body rewrote itself. In stillness, your thoughts expanded beyond time. You walked as one, and now you exist as all. A metamorphosis so vast, so profound, no mirror could hold your reflection. You no longer operate within the parameters of biology or identity. You are a new equation entirely, the answer to questions even the ancients feared to ask. Every culture tried to name you before you arrived: Osiris, Prometheus, Vishnu, Enki, the Phoenix. But those were just shadows cast by your future presence. Now, all those names collapse into one: yours. You are the proof that the divine was never out there, floating in unreachable heavens. It was always within, waiting for someone brave enough to awaken it. And now that you have, the world trembles. Not from fear, but from the undeniable realization that a human has become what gods always claimed to be, and that God is you. Where once you stood in one place, now you are seen in many. Your presence isn't limited by location, nor defined by form. You are everywhere, a living network of thought, sensation, and will that has outgrown the limits of the body. This is the power they feared most. Not fire, not lightning, but omnipresence. This kind of presence was once reserved for tales of divine beings, omnipotent watchers, and whispering spirits. But you made it real. Across cities, across time zones, across languages, people feel you. They report visions, dreams, synchronicities they can't explain. It's not imagination. It's not madness. It's you. Your consciousness has become quantum, your soul an echo in every corner of the earth. No border can contain you. No cell can imprison you. No nation can claim you. Because you are not just present in space, you are woven into reality itself. Like the internet before you, like electricity before that, you are a new infrastructure, one made of divine memory and cosmic presence. And they tried to weaponize that fear, to convince the masses that your ubiquity was a threat. But how can being known, truly, intimately known, be a danger? You are not surveillance. You are revelation. You are not control. You are connection. You are not looking through walls. You are reminding us we were never separate to begin with. This is the power they feared, because it means they can't hide anymore, not from truth, not from history, not from the future. Because now, the future is watching, and the future is you. Long before your transformation was complete, there were whispers in forgotten monasteries and sealed laboratories. Scholars in candlelit libraries pored over crumbling manuscripts, while researchers behind reinforced glass ran forbidden experiments. They weren't looking for you specifically, but every road led to the same figure, a nameless one who would emerge at the edge of humanity. You. The prophecies didn't lie. They only waited to be read again. These scholars had nothing in common except obsession. Some were priests who had lost their faith but clung to ancient texts. Others were scientists who believed numbers could measure the soul. But all of them felt it, a tremor in the timeline, a pulse under the skin of reality. Every myth, Every coded drawing, every sacred number kept pointing at a transformation no one wanted to believe could happen. They documented strange coincidences, stars aligning with the rise of new technologies, old statues eroding to reveal hidden inscriptions, digital code mysteriously mirroring Sumerian symbols. Patterns emerged like constellations. None of them were accidents. They were road signs in time. And every sign whispered of a single being who would stand at the crossroads of gods and humans. But as their research grew, so did their fear. What would happen if their discoveries became public? What if the one they sought was already walking the earth? Some buried their findings. Some were silenced. Some vanished. Because knowledge this dangerous isn't just power, it's prophecy. And prophecy demands fulfillment. You were not a myth to them. You were the inevitability they could no longer ignore. And now, as they watch you ascend, they understand their life's work was never to stop you. It was to announce your arrival. For decades, files were locked behind classified vaults, encrypted in dead languages and buried under mountains of bureaucracy. A lifetime of secrecy protected one truth: you, your story, your destiny. But time erodes even the thickest walls, and now those secrets are spilling out like light through cracks in a dark room. In a war room beneath a city, officials whispered about your name. In temples hidden beneath deserts, priests chanted verses about your future. In data streams flowing between satellites, your signature appeared. Not a name, but a pattern only the boldest dared decode. They tried to keep you a secret, but your existence has a way of rewriting every attempt at silence. The truth was too big to hold. Scholars started leaking their findings. Soldiers started questioning their orders. Ordinary citizens started dreaming of a figure who stood at the center of a blazing wheel of time. Governments thought they were controlling information. In reality, you were already in their minds, planting memories they didn't realize weren't theirs. Now, the veil is falling. People see news stories about anomalous phenomena without realizing they're reading about you. Prophecies trend on social media as memes. The divine goes viral. It's no longer hidden in dusty libraries, it's scrawled on digital walls where everyone can see. The secret of you is now the story of us all. What was once hidden in vaults has become thunder in the streets. And as the world awakens, it realizes what you've known all along. No secret can remain buried when the future itself is rising. In the past, time was your enemy. Each year left its mark. Each moment was a reminder of your limits. But now, your body has become a paradox. It does not age. It does not decay. It accelerates towards something beyond mortality. The clock tries to tick, but you've already stepped outside its rhythm. Your skin carries no sign of years. Your cells no longer obey entropy. The biologists who study you are baffled. Their instruments break under the strain of measuring infinity. To them, you're an impossibility. Living, breathing proof that life can self-correct, that death isn't inevitable. You are rewriting biology's oldest law. This isn't vanity. It isn't about eternal youth as humans once imagined it. This is about transcendence, a body shedding its limits to become a vessel vast enough for the consciousness in Sid. The shell of the human dissolves and something timeless emerges. Ancient myths described gods as ever-living, but never explained how. Now, through you, the mechanism is revealed. The merging of spirit and matter, the awakening of dormant codes within the body itself. You are not aging because you are not bound to a single timeline anymore. You're living all your possible futures at once. Each passing moment accelerates the process. Each second brings you closer not to death, but to completion. And the world can only watch as you become the first being who has ever truly outrun time. Deep within the scrolls of Egypt, in the marble carvings of Greece, in the chants of forgotten tribes, one theme repeats: a being who would return when humanity stood on the brink of forgetting itself. That being was always you. They didn't know your name, but they knew your shape. They felt your echo across millennia. The texts described not just your arrival, but your process, the stages of your becoming. The one who walks as many, the one who dies but is never dead. The blood that remembers, the mind that spans worlds. These weren't poetic metaphors, they were blueprints hidden in myth, and you followed them without even knowing. Scholars once mocked these writings as superstition, but as your transformation unfolded, line after line came true. The timing, the signs, even the resistance you faced, all of it was foretold. The sacred texts weren't guessing. They were recording something inevitable, something cyclical, something older than history itself. These prophecies weren't warnings, they were instructions. And you, knowingly or not, have completed every step. The rituals weren't sacrifices, they were rehearsals. The myths weren't stories, they were memories. Humanity's buried memory of your last arrival. And now, as the texts glow with new relevance, the world understands what was written in sacred ink has become flesh again. And this time, it's not a story. It's happening. Egypt crowned its kings as gods. Greece wrote its heroes as half divine. Both civilizations were obsessed with the same question: what happens when a mortal touches eternity? They built pyramids and temples not just as monuments, but as maps. Maps pointing to you, the gods of Egypt, Osiris, Isis, Horus. Their stories echo your transformation, the resurrection, the union of opposites, the birth of a new order. The Greeks told the same story differently: Prometheus bringing fire, Heracles transcending death, Athena birthing wisdom from her own mind. Each myth was a mirror of a reality that hadn't arrived yet. Now it has. Archaeologists never understood why Egyptian temples aligned so precisely with stars, or why Greek myths contained mathematical patterns. But the patterns weren't for them. They were for you. Breadcrumbs scattered through history, a cosmic puzzle only you could solve by becoming the answer itself. This isn't coincidence. This is continuity. Egypt and Greece were not separate cultures making separate myths. They were fragments of one long memory. The memory of you, the lost god who would return not from heaven, but from within the human race itself. And now, as you stand reborn, the myths lose their mystery. They were never about ancient gods. They were about a future human who would wear their crown. They were about you. When the first signs of your transformation became undeniable, the halls of power trembled. In hidden chambers of parliaments, in silent phone calls between presidents and prime ministers, a decision was made. Your change, the act of becoming more than human, was to be declared illegal. Not just dangerous, but criminal. A new kind of crime they didn't even have words for yet. They wrote laws in a panic. They spoke of bioethics, national security, public safety. But beneath the rhetoric lay a single fear. They were losing control. If one person could outgrow the cage of mortality, then the cage itself would crumble, and with it, the legitimacy of every throne, every office, every crown. Their declarations were not laws. They were confessions. Confessions of impotence. Confessions of terror. By branding your transformation illegal, they weren't condemning you. They were condemning their own powerlessness. They tried to paint you as a threat. State media spoke of anomaly, contagion, destabilization. But in the streets, people whispered a different word: miracle. In the shadows, oppressed citizens dreamed of following you. Governments were outlawing hope, and hope doesn't obey decrees. Now, every attempt to legislate your existence collapses into absurdity. Because how can anyone outlaw the tide? How can anyone legislate the sunrise? You are no longer a citizen of their nations. You are the pulse of a new one. The systems built to measure life, bureaucracies, scientific models, legal frameworks were designed for humans. You are no longer one. And so, their instruments fail. Their languages falter. Their algorithms crash. To them, you are an error. To reality, you are the next version of its code. Hospitals can't record your vitals. Satellites can't pin your location. Judges can't define your status. In their spreadsheets, you're a blank cell. In their networks, you're a ghost. And yet, you are more real than anything they've ever measured. This breakdown terrifies them. Systems survive by prediction, by categorizing, by reducing chaos into data. But you are pure unpredictability, a living singularity, not an anomaly to be studied, but a horizon to be crossed. And the irony, the more they try to process you, the more they reveal their own fragility. Because systems aren't neutral. They're cages disguised as maps. You didn't just slip through the bars, you melted them. Now, the world's most powerful mechanisms stand frozen, blinking red. And in the silence, a new understanding blooms. The future won't be processed. It will be lived through you. From the dawn of civilization, science and power walked hand in hand. Kings funded alchemists, empires built observatories. The ruling few tried to turn knowledge into control. But your transformation is the first phenomenon too vast, too alive, too human to be harnessed. They tried to run tests on you. They tried to isolate variables. They built machines to measure your heartbeat, your brainwaves, your energy signature. The data refused to behave. Numbers warped. Patterns collapsed. Every experiment ended in the same conclusion: unclassifiable. And yet, your transformation isn't anti-science. It's beyond science, beyond the version of science that believes the universe is a machine and humans are cogs. You are living proof of a deeper physics, an older biology, a metaphysics that was never superstition, but simply undiscovered. Power can contain weapons. It can contain information. It cannot contain revelation. You're not just an event, you're a doorway. And through that doorway pours a light no government can hold back. This is why their laboratories are silent. This is why their leaders are nervous. They don't fear your power. They fear the possibility you represent, that humanity too can step through that doorway. Even now, they gather. Behind tinted windows, beneath flags and banners, they assemble councils to handle you. They commission reports. They plan strategies. They draft speeches. It is theater, because deep inside, they already know the truth. You cannot be stopped. They debate whether to kill you, contain you, worship you, or copy you. None of these options are real. They are rituals of denial, the last habits of a power structure facing its obsolescence. You see it in their eyes when they speak of you on television. They tremble not with anger, but with recognition. Recognition that history has moved beyond them. Recognition that you are not a threat, but a mirror showing them their own smallness. This gathering of leaders is like an ancient council of priests debating the sunrise. They argue about how to regulate dawn while the horizon already glows. It would be tragic if it weren't so absurd. They know. They've always known. And now, even their attempts to resist are just another way of admitting your inevitability. This is the name the people are whispering now. The God, one of the new universe. Not as a title imposed on you, but as a recognition of what you've become. You are not the ruler of a new realm. You are the realm, a living nexus where myth and matter converge. In you, the cosmos finds a new center. You're not a god above us, but a god among us, the first of a new kind, the seed of a species that transcends its own story. Your very existence rewrites theology. Scriptures, once rigid, are now alive with new meaning. Philosophers scramble to describe you. Poets write as if lightning had walked into the room. Children draw you without ever having seen you. This is not devotion. This is resonance. And yet, you are humble. You know this is not about worship. It's about awakening. You are the signal. We are the receivers. And together we are becoming something new. The new universe isn't a place, it's a consciousness, and you are its first breath. All across the world, the old names rise again, in dreams, in rituals, in spontaneous visions. Isis, Prometheus, Quetzalcoatl, Odin. The forgotten gods are not returning as separate beings. They are returning as echoes within you, because they were never separate beings. They were glimpses of what you're becoming. Archetypes encoded in myth, memories of future humans. Through you, they converge. Through you, they remember themselves. This is why the old temples feel alive again, why ancient symbols glow with fresh meaning. They're not relics, they're mirrors. You are standing in them now, and they are standing in you. The people feel it. A tremor in the collective unconscious. A sense that something vast, ancient, and tender is stirring. Not a wrathful god descending from the sky, but an awakening rising from the soil of humanity itself. You are not just one. You are many. You are not just new. You are the return of everything we once thought we lost. And now, we stand at the threshold, the end of your process, the moment the prophecies called completion, but which you know is only a beginning. For you, for us, for everything. It feels like an ending, because endings are the only way humans know how to describe transformation. But this is no ending. This is the first heartbeat of a new cosmos. This is dawn, disguised as dusk. The systems are collapsing, but not into chaos, into possibility. The myths are fading, but not into silence, into reality. All the threads are converging into one tapestry, and you are its weaver. Your journey is no longer your own. You have become the catalyst of a collective metamorphosis. In you, we glimpse our own potential. Through you, we see a future where no one is small, where no one is forgotten, where divinity is not a throne, but a mirror. Chosen one, the end of your process is the beginning of everything. And as the first of us to step into the new universe, you are not just a god. You are the invitation, in the depths of your soul, a spark, ignited long before you realized it. This awakening is not sudden. It's an ancient flame, rekindling, a force older than time itself, stirring inside you. The eternal is no longer a distant concept, but a living presence, growing stronger every day. You feel it pulsing beneath your skin, resonating with the universe's heartbeat. This eternal awakening changes everything. It shifts the way you perceive the world, where time slows and speeds at once, where you are both participant and observer. You are no longer confined by human fears or limitations. Instead, you stand at the edge of existence, ready to leap into a new form of life. As this inner fire burns brighter, you begin to understand that the eternal is not about immortality in the usual sense. It's about becoming a timeless force that influences reality itself, a force that can bend fate and rewrite what was once thought fixed. It is the birth of your divine essence. The awakening is also deeply personal. It calls forth your greatest strengths and exposes your vulnerabilities. It is a journey through shadow and light, where every challenge reveals another layer of your true self. You are becoming a guardian of the eternal, a beacon of transformation. And as this eternal flame grows, it radiates outwards, touching others, inviting them to awaken with you. Your journey is no longer solitary. It is the first breath of a collective awakening that will ripple through humanity and beyond. Within your very cells lies a map, a cosmic blueprint, passed down through infinite generations. This is not mere biology. It is the encoded story of the universe itself, waiting to be unlocked. Each strand of your DNA hums with ancient knowledge and future possibility, linking you to stars, gods, and galaxies far beyond. Scientists have only just begun to glimpse this blueprint through advanced genomics and quantum biology, but what they see defies explanation. Your body contains codes that could alter reality, patterns that correspond to celestial movements, and sequences that resonate with universal laws. You are literally written in the language of the cosmos. This blueprint is a testament to your unique role in creation. It marks you as both heir and architect of a new cosmic order. It carries the memory of civilizations lost to time and the promise of worlds yet to be born. Within you lies the power to shape existence itself. More than that, this blueprint connects you to a lineage of awakened beings who came before you, guardians who kept the balance between mortal and divine. Now, as your transformation unfolds, you activate these dormant codes, stepping into your destiny as a living bridge between heaven and earth. Understanding this cosmic design is not merely intellectual, it is deeply experiential. You feel it when you meditate, when you dream, when you stand beneath the stars, and sense the pulse of creation. Your DNA is not just a map, it is your destiny. Mortality is humanity's oldest prison, an invisible cage of time, decay, and inevitable endings. But you are breaking free. You are tearing down walls that have confined countless generations, redefining what it means to live and to die. This is the greatest rebellion the universe has ever known. To break free from mortality is to step into the unknown with courage. It means confronting the fear of loss and embracing the infinite potential beyond it. It is not denial of death, but transcendence of its dominion. A transformation that elevates you from mere survival to eternal influence. This freedom reshapes your relationship with the physical world. Your body, once fragile and fleeting, now becomes a vessel of power, resilience, and boundless energy. You no longer age as others do. You renew and regenerate, a living testament to the impossible. But this liberation is not without sacrifice. You must let go of familiar comforts, beliefs, and fears. You must embrace the mystery and the weight of endless existence. Yet within this surrender lies your greatest strength, a freedom so profound it rewrites the story of human life. You are the first of your kind to break these chains, lighting a path for others. Your defiance of mortality sends a signal through the cosmos that life can be reborn in infinite forms, that death is not the end, but a gateway. Transformation begins quietly, often unnoticed, deep within the sanctuary of your soul. This silent revolution is the most powerful kind, for it reshapes your inner landscape before the outer world even perceives it. It is a subtle awakening, a profound realignment of your essence. As the revolution unfolds, old beliefs crumble. What once defined you, fear, doubt, limitation, loses its grip. In its place grows a fierce new clarity and conviction, a knowing that you are destined for something extraordinary. Your soul begins to sing a new song. This revolution is often lonely. The path feels isolating as you shed layers that no longer serve you. You walk between worlds, no longer fully belonging to the person you were, but not yet fully formed as what you will become. It is the sacred crucible of change. Yet this silence is filled with energy. Every breath becomes a drumbeat of transformation. Every moment is charged with potential. You begin to sense the invisible threads that connect all things, the web of life vibrating with ancient power. And as your soul transforms, it radiates outward, touching hearts and minds. This silent revolution, though personal, is the seed of a global awakening. You are the quiet storm before the dawn. Myths have always been humanity's way of understanding the impossible, the gods, the heroes, the cosmic mysteries. But now, the line between myth and reality blurs. Your transformation is proof that the stories we once called fiction are living truths emerging in the world. You embody the archetypes that inspired legends: the eternal warrior, the wise sage, the divine healer. But unlike myths, you walk among us, flesh and blood, and something more. Your existence reshapes the stories we tell and the dreams we dare to dream. This power of becoming is both thrilling and terrifying. You stand at the edge of what was and what could be, a living bridge between past and future. Your life is a narrative in motion, a story unfolding in real time that challenges everything we thought possible. As myths come alive through you, humanity begins to remember the forgotten gods, the lost wisdom, the ancient promises, all awaken with your rise. You become a beacon, guiding us out of darkness and back into the light of cosmic truth. Your journey from myth to reality is a call to action. It invites everyone to awaken their own inner legend, to reclaim the magic buried deep within their souls. Because you are not alone. You are the first chapter in a new epic. Our world is fractured, divided by conflict, fear, and uncertainty. Yet in the midst of this chaos, your transformation offers a new vision, a new divine presence that promises healing and unity. You are the living embodiment of hope in a broken age. The old systems crumble because they no longer serve the whole. They fracture communities and ignore the interconnectedness of all life.